Eric, you are a VC, right?
I think so.
Cool. So why aren't you rich yet?
Have you been talking to my mom again?
Founders, this will be an interesting episode that talks about how venture capitalists make their money. I think you're going to find that it isn't as straightforward as you might think.
Janelle, there is this ideal that people have in their minds about how VCs are in the business of investing in the very best founders, doing everything possible to help these founders grow their companies. And then when the IPO happens, the founders, employees, investors all get rich together.
That's a beautiful perspective on capitalism. So, does it work like that in reality?
No. It wasn't until I became a VC where I really understood how this industry makes its money.
Then what isn't accurate about what you described, about how VCs are in the business of investing in the best companies?
Well, let's start by talking about two concepts that are important in VC: carry and fees.
Okay, describe what carry is.
All right, let's say that I raise $100 for a VC fund, and Janelle, you are my sole LP or limited partner. These are the people who invest in funds. If I invest well and can initially return the fund, that is, return your original investment of $100 back to you, any gains beyond returning the fund is then split 20% to me and 80% to you. The 20% part is called carry. And while this number can vary, in our industry, 20% is the norm.
So in the scenario where I invest $100 and you return $200 through your investing, the first $100 is returned back to me. And with the second $100 of gain, 20 will go to you and 80 will go to me.
That's right. And you can start to understand how you can make a ton of money as a VC with this model. Pretend that this was $100 million and we returned $200 million. That's essentially $20 million of carry for our team.
Okay, so are there any problems with this?
There are no problems, except that it's extremely hard in the VC industry to even return a fund. You have to invest super well. You have to have a great strategy for financial engineering to harvest gains, and also the returns typically take a long time to come back. As early stage investors, we don't anticipate returns to meaningfully happen until years 8 through 10 or even beyond for a given fund, and that's a long time to wait.
It sure is. So I've heard that even the majority of VCs don't return a single fund.
Reports vary, but I have heard the same. So there is a different way to get really rich in VC.
You must be talking about the second concept, which is fees.
Yes, this is arguably the easier way to get rich in venture. In general, most VCs charge a 2% management fee for their total assets under management, guaranteed every year for 10 years.
So in the case of a $100 fund, you are saying that you, as the VC, are guaranteed $2 every year for 10 years. So $20.
Yes. In a typical VC fund, a fund's life is 10 years, and that $2 each year for 10 years is correct.
So I can see how this can turn into a lot of money. So you are saying that if you raise $1 billion of capital, your fee would be $20 million per year for 10 years.
That's right. And this is, I think, a massive misalignment between VCs, investors, and their founders. Let's say that I was pocketing $20 million a year just for raising a big fund. What do you think would happen?
Knowing what I know about you, you would probably buy 20 minivans, add $100K of modifications to each of them, and probably spend millions of dollars of that money trying to breed hippocorns.
Yeah, sadly, you are correct. If I am guaranteed so much money, what's the point of working hard? If I'm a great investor and invest in great companies, that's awesome. I'll make more. But let's say I'm a terrible investor and lose everyone's investment. That's great too, because I'm guaranteed my fees.
So, okay, I can see the misalignment. So tell me more about how this affects the VC industry.
This is the uncomfortable truth. I think that most VCs are actually in the game for fees, at least more so than their incentives for investing well. Obviously, there are a lot of amazing people in our industry who are trying to do the right thing and invest well, but there are just so many freaking people on our side of the table who are too fat and happy, just enjoying these ultra fat paychecks. I experienced working with many of them when I was a founder, and you could just tell over time that they simply did not care about me.
Yeah. Yikes. Founders, now that you understand how VCs make money, hopefully you can try to figure out with your future VC interactions who is in the game for carry and who is in the game just for the fees.
I would argue that working with VCs that are in it for carry will always be better for founders. They will work really hard alongside you to make your company as successful as possible because their incentives to do so are extremely high. Now, this might sound like a self-serving comment, but this is why we think emerging managers running smaller funds, like Hustle Fund, are better aligned with founders. We don't take big fees because we're small. So our team is totally focused on aligning behind our founders.
And if you want to align behind the Uncapped Notes team, we hope you decide to like and subscribe. Thanks, everyone.